We have the following situation. You manage a program or a project and you have a team that needs to provide you some feedback. That feedback can be on a change, on the project itself, or on something else. What usually happens is that some people will provide you that feedback, that recurrent feedback, without a problem. They will always deliver in time and you will not have to go chasing them. But for other people, you will have to be a policeman. Basically, you will have to chase them all the time to make sure that they deliver their feedback on time. What if we could automate the creation of tasks so that they have it in their to-do list, and that way they have no excuse whatsoever on why they did not provide you the feedback on time. That way you can avoid doing that police work. They will always have it on their to-do list. As I was telling you before, we can create a simple automation that will basically create tasks for all the people on a given channel, and we can always be more narrow on who we want to trigger this for. But let's say that it's everyone on one specific Teams channel. The automation looks like you see it. Let me edit it so you see the details. Right now it's a manual trigger. We can change the trigger for anything we want, things like for an element selected on a list, on a SharePoint list. It could be a recurrent trigger that just automatically will trigger the whole thing on a recurrent basis, or there's many different triggers that we can select. Right now it's just a manual flow. What we then need to select is the list of group members. And what this does, and it's important that you look for this one from Microsoft 365, because there's another one, and let me show you, that if you want to list the Teams members, you'll have one for that. You have a list members, and it's not the one we're looking for. These list members will trigger on everyone on a specific chat, and what you want is all the people on a specific team. Okay, so the one we're looking for, we go down, all the way down, and here, Office 365 groups, and then we list the groups members. So if we come here to the list the group members, we need to select the group ID, on this case the channel that we're looking for, and that's about it. There's one parameter that I never use. It's just in case you have a lot of people on that group, which is usually not the case, in case you want to limit the number of people you want to retrieve. After that, we need to apply to each. That way we will look through each person on that list, and we make sure we create one task for each person on that list. Then we create the task. For the task, we have to first decide in which channel, group, we want to create the task, in which plan, in this case we just call it task, and I'll show you on Teams how it looks. Then we need to assign a title name. Right now is task name, but it could be dynamic. What we have done on our manual trigger, we input the task name and we input a due date. We then decide in which bucket we want to have it, in case we have buckets in our task. The due date, if we have it, and then who are we assigning it to? We basically pick the emails from that group, but it's important that you basically come here and use the PowerFX to basically write a function that is item that will basically loop through the current item, all the values on that current item. And then you will look for the mail. And in case you have any doubt on what you need to select, you can always go to the dynamic content. And in the list groups members, you have all the fields that are available for that specific item. With this, I'm not going to add it because that's already the formula that I have. And that's it. If we run this, let me save it, there's no changes, just in case. We run this, we'll trigger it manually. We give it a name, task automation, and then a due date. It's going to be next Monday. And we run the flow, and we're done. everything triggered correctly. And if we go to Teams, you see here in Bluefado, under General, we have Task. In our board, in the To-Do, we have 2 new tasks that are basically, let me refresh this. Here, 2 new tasks under the To-Do. That's the one we selected on our triggers. We have a task automation and another task automation for 2 different people. And that's it.